recommend seeing The Hitman's Bodyguard, by the way, because Ryan Reynolds is amazing. All right, hello, and we're live. Welcome, everyone, to our another Wargamers Hangout. I've got myself, Wargamergirl, and Codex Dan here on the other end.
Live!
On a slightly delayed reaction. We are both very burned out today. It's been a surprisingly long day and weeks for some of us, so we're just chilling out, just gonna paint some miniatures, hang out with you guys, and just try to relax and talk about whatever. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'd asked at the beginning, before I started here, what thing I should paint, because I've got my Shock Trooper officer here, both started, and the Rager Warjack, and people voted for the Warjack, so I guess that's what I'm going to work on, which is fine with me, because robots are always better.
Yeah, more killer, more robots.
That's right. Dan, what have you been up to?
Me? I'm probably going to be moving houses in a couple weeks.
Uh-oh. Do you have to hire special movers to move all your miniatures?
Maybe.
Mm.
I think I've significantly increased the number of miniatures that I have like before. And so I really don't have a good way to transport them besides just thin cardboard trays and just be gentle with them. So those we packed up a lot. It's a whole lot of crap.
Yeah, that's generally what happens when you move. That's why when you want to move, you just leave everything in the old house and then go to the new place and just buy new stuff.
But I don't have monies for that.
Well, I mean, you could maybe like borrow it, or it could be like Goodwill, or I don't know. I just avoid moving if at all possible.
Miniatures. Not like you cruel taskmaster.
What? I like delegating, okay? Okay, I'm going to pull up a reference photo for my Warjack Rager. It's red and silver. I can do this. I can do this. People in the audience, once again, hello and welcome. What are you guys working on? Are you painting with us, or are you just hanging out, or are we just streaming while you clean your house? Or
I'm in your house.
I mean, I like to have stuff on when I'm cleaning, so sometimes nice.
Hopefully somebody's mom was walking by at that point. Like, I'm watching you.
They're like, honey, what are you listening to? Weirdos on the other end. All right, we've got some questions. Ezekiel? Hey, do you like Grimkin and try a game with new abilities? Do you mean like the Arcana change? Played a couple games with Grimkin. I enjoy it. Cater's still my faction, though. They're still my boys. But yeah, no, Grimkin's a lot of fun. In fact, I recently got the King of Nothing sent to me, which we did an unboxing of last episode, right, Dan? Do you remember? Do you remember weeks ago?
You play with a little munchkin?
With the little angry man? I don't know. I might let someone else play with him. He seems like a total weirdo.
Ooh, I like Mike Hammond's idea. You should paint one of your jacks a hot pink.
Hot pink?
Yeah.
No. That's just not happening. I own very few pink things. It's not really my favorite color, you see. I actually really liked the 5th Border Legion stuff because I liked the olive green, and I wanted to do more olive green drab and stuff on there, but for the purpose of recording, it just sort of made more sense to just keep an army that looked like the faction, so I just default to that all the time now because I'm super boring like that. Paint like the wind, that is not how I paint. I do not paint quickly. In fact,
you put a fan and just threw some paint in the air and your models on the other side. So you're painting like the wind.
So I don't know if any of you guys watch like Cool Guys Nation, which is Aaron. He's been at Valhalla before, but he's a big 40K guy. And he put out a really hilarious video on how to paint a Space Marine, which sort of involved that. He's like dipping it in a box and it comes out all perfectly painted. It's like, man, if only that would be worth whatever it cost.
Magic box of painting.
Mike Hammond. I'm taking my mother grocery shopping at the evil place. Well, going out in the world and shopping at all is always a bit of a dreadful task. Like, I don't blame people for getting their groceries, you know, online and having them just delivered to their store. It's like, nobody will know how to socialize with each other in the next 10 years, but man, it'll be really convenient.
So there's a pretty big chain called Canadian Superstore up here in Canada. And you can order online and just drive up to the pickup area. And people will walk out with bags of groceries for you and then give it to you.
I'll do you one better. You can pay Uber to go, or Lyft, or whichever one it is now, to go like pick up your takeout food for you.
I guess that's true. That's pretty good. But I wanted to like order like one banana. You know, order a banana from Superstore to the grocery store, drive up, and just have some like little lady walk out with just one banana for you.
I feel like you'd be doing that more for the spectacle of it.
Yeah, it would be practical. It would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, it's 1:36 a.m. where Paul Noxie is.
People can't seem to hear me.
We'll raise it, turn it up. Oh no, these people are so tired and need sleep. I know the feeling. It's been a really long week. I totally understand if you don't want to hang out with us. Me, I mean, I'll take it totally personally, but I suppose if you need sleep, that's understandable.
All right, is my mic any better now?
Oh, it's pretty loud now. It should be good. England. Fair enough. Let me see. I need an army. Got any hints? I assume you mean War Machine. Play Kador, obviously.
Don't play that hedonistic army.
Hedonistic? A bunch of Marwins and men. In fact, we're the only faction in which all the religions get along. Mostly. Kind of. I mean, more so than other areas of Imran.
I don't know. Menno seems to get along with everybody.
Like in what sense?
Like not at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In the repent or perish kind of way. Mm-hmm. So that's my army. What? That's my army? Well, I mean, that's true. You might have come across my slight bias, but it's still the best army, so I mean, that's why I picked it. If it's worth whatever it costs, there are ways to get those minis magically painted for you. Well, I do have a commission painter. She actually painted up all the Grimkin stuff, which I guess I should probably big reveal on that. What was it, the 19th? Yeah, this last weekend. When did I do that? I recorded a battle report with Grimkin.
Hey.
I did. It's very exciting. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I'm so in love with the footage. I need to still write the script and, you know, the color corrections done and then record that and sweeten audio and edit. But either way, it's coming along and it's very exciting. I think it will be a very good game and I think people will enjoy it. You know, probably. So that's been very exciting.
Miranda, one of these days you're going to have to improv your script.
One of these days I'm gonna have to do what? Improv scripts? Like where I make, like just play it like the way Matt from Mini Wargaming would. And you're just like, and then that guy, you know, I don't know, he runs around, he has a pumpkin on his head. The name escapes me at the moment. Anyway, he's gonna take a really badly attempted stab at this guy and fail. I don't think anybody cares to hear that.
It could be funny.
The whole point is to not feel like I'm wasting people's time with the battle reports by putting concise information. Listening to me stumble and forget names and basic words repeatedly is not really... I mean, that's what you come to these live shows for, I guess. So. Man, I am just not getting this.
Comment in the chat if you'd like Miranda to stumble around on the mic while trying to make a high-quality product.
Wow. Yes, exactly. All right. What else have we got going on in the chat here? Wow, from Ireland and England. We've got people from all over the world here. That's so awesome. Welcome. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where Breaking Bad takes place, or took place. I don't know. It's bad, but I like it here, I guess. It's also like super, super hot out, but I have to kind of close everything off. Otherwise the light blasts in here. So usually by the end of the hour show, it's pretty sweaty.
I thought it was super hot here in Calgary.
Well, I suppose it's relative. You seem to have the metabolism of like salmon and cook in anything above room temperature.
Wait, let's see. The temperature right now is 30 degrees.
Whee!
Celsius. So it's like 85-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
It's really hot.
Right? Dan, have you played Frostgrave yet? Harvey Savage wants to know.
I have not. I am actually like the worst.
In just all general senses.
Yes. I like playing a lot of different games. Like it's, although I've been trying to like go out more and like, yeah, I had some Malifaux, but I played like a handful of games and everyone stopped playing. I was like, oh, well, that's silly. And they're like, oh, we're going to play some 40K again. And then like, all the people that I was going to play 40K, all of a sudden like stop playing. And there's like tons of people still play with. I will. But. And then some person like, oh, we're starting Infinity. I was like, oh, I've always wanted to start Infinity. I'm like, no, it's a trap. It's a trap.
So it's really just an excuse to get you to buy a bunch of models, and then nothing happens. That just seems like a mean prank. I feel like they're all in on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all making fun of you to take you back to childhood. I have not played Frostgrave yet. It's intriguing. Osprey Games, like it looks like they put out a really quality product. And I remember when like at least the wargaming community online was kind of going nuts with it. But then it's sort of to me, it seems like it's faded away. Am I wrong? Are a lot of people here playing Frostgrave still? Because I don't see it anymore. And from what I can tell, it's still a really cool game. It's just, you know, when you try to record games, it's, you know, it's kind of a big endeavor to like learn the rules for many systems. And I'm still trying to get onto Shadow War Armageddon and 8th edition.
Yeah, you barely know how to play War Machine.
I know, it's just, I mean, and it's been years. I mean, it takes a while. So it's just a big investment. I can't take these fly-by-night games. Let me see here. Adam asks, anyone else intrigued by Star Wars Legion?
That's the new like miniature one. It looks really cool. Just because it's Star Wars. Star Wars is awesome.
I got on board with X-Wing way back when, and I bought all the stuff they had when it came out.
Oh, there's so much now.
But
so much.
Well, yeah, now it's gone crazy, right? And then I haven't, and it's actually kind of big here. Like a lot of people play X-Wing. There's big tournaments here for X-Wing and Infinity because I think Albuquerque just has a preference towards sci-fi over fantasy. Because even our Malifaux meta, from what I'm understanding, kind of died off.
It's all the desert.
Maybe so. It's just we just need our like the official Mad Max style like tabletop game. I mean, other than 40K. Actually, there was a question up here. 12 Knee. Wargamergirl and Dan, have you played Iron Kingdoms Unleashed or the role-playing genre? Yeah, I played the Iron Kingdoms RPG a few years ago now, but I haven't gotten back to it. I'd actually really like to DM a game. I think that's just what needs to happen next. Now, Dan, have you actually played the RPG?
I have not played the Iron Kingdoms one.
Ah.
I have a hard enough time to getting people to play any kind of role-playing game in my group. So for me, it's like, I don't really care what I'm playing. I enjoy role-playing. I'll fit into whatever. It's just finding the group. Finding the time. I mean, and like not like other people the problem. Like I'm the problem too. It's just like committing that kind of time to make it fun and exciting.
You heard it here first. Dan has commitment problems.
Yeah, it's true.
Fair warning. Actually, Someone else was mentioning the Grimkin video I'd put out. Jeffrey says, saw your battle report. Grimkin seemed cool, but I'm still on the fence. I'm assuming you mean my unboxing, because my battle report's not out yet. And if you've seen it, that would be really weird and kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It was just like out in my street somewhere with some binoculars. Like, huh. I mean, you saw there first. So what is it that has you on the fence about the Grimkin? Because, like, they're very weird, but I think you're kind of either on board with them or not. So I'm curious as to where you'd be, like, on the fence about it, if it's, like, the aesthetic or you think the rules are too wonky. And I guess Neve's still having... Okay, who else is having issues with the mic with Dan? Because he's loud on my ears, and then I know somebody else mentioned that they could hear it. I want to see if I can isolate that.
I don't know. Testing.
Sorry, man.
On your end?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you just fine. And it should be recording just fine, so I don't know. But if it's only one person, then it does seem weird. I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, and other people are saying they haven't really seen Frostgrave in the shop either. So I don't know why. Like, I feel bad because Frostgrave, do they have, like, there was a rule set, but there was, like, some lore and background to it, right? I mean, that's kind of what helps keep a game going. So, like, what do you think made people stop playing Frostgrave? Yeah, you're still too quiet, Dan. Just crank it up more.
How about now?
Oh my god.
Maybe, like, this is just theorizing, but, like, Frostgrave had their own models, but didn't require their own models. Like, kind of, like, bring whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Because there's not as many miniatures driving the game, that might have something to do with it. Maybe not.
Well, the miniatures for the game got released later, right? The rule set came out and then minis came out later. Isn't that what happened? Am I making that up? Jeffrey said, with response to on the fence about Grimkin, the look, I really like a couple of the models, but the others are just hideous. That's fine. Then I wouldn't bother because I don't know that. Like, you have to like what you're playing, I think.
They're supposed to be hideous.
Well, but I mean, you have to be okay with, like, it has to be, you know, at least cute to you or, you know, enjoyable to you. And I bet, is it the Skin and Moans? Is that the one that kind of gets you on the hook? Because that one's a really, really cool model. And the Witchwood. Those two are probably my favorites.
I wasn't really convinced by Skin and Moans, but then I saw how big it was, and I was like, oh.
A lot of people really like how tall he is. He stands super, super tall. But, you know, him painted up, I don't know. Once you see my battle report, you might just be convinced. All the silver I'm getting on there. Look at him coming along. He's already tabletop ready. I mean, other than needing more colors and arc markings.
It's the Rager, is that one?
Yes, the one with shield guard and his cute little shield. See? He's so cute. And he's got his little shiv there.
It's a Gladius.
Yeah, right. His little 1-inch reach. He's so cute. Anyway, I'm a fan. Right, so there's more questions. Frostgrave is only in cold setting. Once you get bored of the cold environments, it's like meh. Still a badass game though. This is G3XE. All right, fair amount of fair insight on that. Now, I know like the rules were super tight, but it's supposed to be campaign based too, which I thought would actually help it. What miniatures are you guys painting? Says no reroll. I am painting the Rager Warjack from War Machine with the best faction in the world, Khador, that everybody should play. Dan, what are you painting?
Mouse. Let's bring this in closer. I am painting...
Oh, that's better.
Triumph.
Triumph? Oh, I guess he's okay now.
He's character Warjack. Basically I had him already painted, and I just bought the shield and the extensions for the different So, changing the color scheme a bit to make him like stand out. But it shouldn't be too bad, because He's like in Mark 3, he got a bit better, but he's 20 points. But in the recent community development schedule, they reduced in points and made him a lot better. So I'm excited to use him because you get to shoot in the maintenance phase. Just like start of your turn, you just take a shot with him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't actually like
range 16, POW 15.
Didn't they lower his points cost too?
Yeah, so he's only 18 points now instead of 20.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Jeffrey says, I really like that one, which I'm assuming you mean either the Witchwood or Skin and Moans. But the pigs on hobby horses, really? No, they're not pigs on hobby horses. They're gremlins running around with hobby horses, and there's pigs that ride imps. And I'm sorry, but
little dudes.
The freaking Nayslayers are the best ever. I'm sorry. I'm totally on board with them. Like the pigs, yeah, I can. It's a very Animal Farm thing. Like if you've read Animal Farm, it's Napoleon. He's riding around. I think that's where the aesthetic comes from. The Nayslayers, they're so ridiculous. I can't even help it. I'm sorry.
No, the Nayslayers are awesome.
We've got Quirk in the chat. What are you up to?
Quirk?
Yeah, Quirk's in here. Like Quirk. Like the Quirk. We should stop talking about him. Adam says, I've been painting some figures for a D&D campaign down to the last 2-player characters, a Furbolg druid and a dragonborn fighter/cleric. Ooh. And Quirk is painting Grey Knights. Exciting.
What a jerk.
Has anybody ever confused Grey Knights for granites? Like granite, like a tabletop or counter, whatever granite's made of. We have mountains made of that, and that's all I know of it. I had a friend that constantly would hear us say granite instead of Grey Knight, but I guess, I don't know. It was just a weird thing.
Granite.
Yeah, right? But he never, like, it was weeks before he brought it up. We're like, what did you think we were talking about for weeks? So, I don't know.
I just thought you really like rocks.
I don't know. Quirk says he loves you.
Shut up, Quirk.
Sounds about right. Quirk, do you still play War Machine? Are you going to play War Machine at Valhalla? Because you're coming to Valhalla, which is so exciting. Inquiring minds want to know. Will either of you be at the Nova or any other Wargamer conventions? This year? Probably not. I've just been doing local stuff lately. Like this year was super, super hard on me getting around. But I do fully plan to be probably LVO would be the next major one. One of the things that's taking up my time later in the year is I'll be going to BlizzCon, which I know isn't quite wargaming, but I couldn't help myself. It's BlizzCon. So I'll be there in November. And then, yeah, that's all I do with my life.
BlizzCon seems like it would be a good... You've been before or no?
No, never. So I think it'll be fun. Oh, gosh, I'm missing some stuff here. So Alex Kenneth, the people that played Frostgrave are still playing it, but it's a far more casual game, more likely to be found in a basement club rather than your local club. Okay, that actually brings up another question I have for you guys. So we all are familiar with going to our friendly local game store to play games. Have you found like that there's actually a surprising number of games that actually only and exclusively get played at people's houses? Like we have a crazy Wrath of Kings meta apparently hidden around, and a Dust Warfare community here that also only plays at people's houses, and I didn't know about it. But I don't know how you get into those secret clubs, and I just was curious if anybody else like deals with that or has advice, because I don't know. I want to play Dust really bad, but...
All right, so this is how you get in the secret club. You find out who's in the secret club. Then you follow them to their house.
Okay, did that.
Can't play. And you bug them.
That just got the cops called on me. It was super awkward.
Huh. That
Yeah,
would work for me.
I know, right? Like, I'm just not as charming as you are. Where is BlizzCon this year? Why, in Anaheim, California, which is a place I've never been. And while I'll be pretty much across the street from Disneyland, I probably won't be able to go because I don't think I have enough time. Story of my life. And yes, the naysayers are the best, Jack. Paul Noxie, I finally bought the rule book for Shadow War Armageddon. Going to simplify the rules to a level I can just take it to a friend who's never played miniature games before. Which I'm assuming is part of the point. All the skirmish level games are designed to be more like easier to access, inclusive, or whatever that word is. Christian is painting Sorsha 1. Ah, good times. She's so good. You know, I really haven't played her much in Mark 3, even though, from what I can tell, she's exactly the same, which is overpowered.
I have a fun story about facing her in a tournament. One of my first tournaments outside my hometown.
Yeah.
I was all like, okay, this is gonna be crazy. I brought Siege, and Colossals had just come out. And so Siege has a spell called Foxhole, where you place a 5-inch AoE, and anything inside the AoE gets covered and does not block line of sight. Basically, just puts you and you're immune to blast damage or whatever. And so it was like you put it down on the ground, you walk into it, and you're safe even out in the open kind of thing. You kind of choose where your cover is, and so it's just good, whatever. But I also found out in my playing that you could just place it on the ground over top of enemy models, and the enemy models will just like sink it to the ground, and then you can shoot their caster to it.
What?
And so it seemed pretty good. I was like, oh, this guy's like an assassination guy. So anyway, so Sorsha walks up, and she's hiding behind a conquest. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm super safe behind the conquest. And then Siege walks up and goes, boom.
I don't think I like where this story is going. You should stop.
And if you know anything about 120 millimeters is not quite 5 inches. There's a little bit of leeway there.
Nope.
And so I sunk the Colossal into the ground. It like stumbled down to its knees and like fell over for half a second for enough for me to see Sorsha. And then I started unloading and shooting. But as I did it, the guy was like, no, there's no way that's legit. And we had to like bring over.
We had to bring over the rules.
Yeah.
So
he's like, no, that's legit. I was like, okay, good. Because I had been just started playing at that point. And so I was like, yeah. And then I failed the assassination attempt and then Sorsha killed me.
yeah, I was gonna say you still have to get past some crazy high defense.
Mm-hmm. I needed 9s to hit.
Oh,
And I kept missing that. I was boosting, so that's like 60% chance around.
wow.
But I got her down to like 2 hit points left, and then missed with a defender shot, which would have almost guaranteed.
Well, you know I couldn't root for you anyway, so.
But it was great just for that.
Vetrus says, greetings and good morning from Germany. Oh, good morning. It's probably super early morning. Jack, Quirk, if Steve still plays, you should see if you can play on his channel. I would love to see some War Machine on there. Jamie J, sadly, my game store has been closed for a few years now. Oh, no. So I guess all your only option is just to play at people's houses. Do you have, like, that awesome dude who has, like, the total basement all cleared out, designed to be, like, just a gaming hall? Miranda needs a secret handshake. I do. I should probably come up with that, but it's not really fun if I'm the only one who knows it.
It's okay. You can teach me so I can forget it.
So that you can ignore it whenever I'm like, Dan, and you're like, because everybody's cooler than me. Blah.
Because you live in New Mexico.
No.
I mean, it's hot in New Mexico, so everyone's just innately cooler than you.
Anyway, Christian says I'm from Chile, and in me game store, we have a lot of board games and war games. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of board games. Totally used to that. Used to game with friends, but haven't had time to game, period, let alone in a club. Yes, life is definitely can get in the way of a lot of that stuff. My sympathies be with you. Is anyone playing Death? Like from Terry Pratchett, or do you mean Kingdom Death? I'm really confused by that statement.
I sometimes play dead when I don't want my roommates to bug me.
Or you're trying to avoid work. Hey, Counterslam. Hey, Eric. How you doing, man? Thanks for popping by. What is the Jack that is painting? This is the lovely, amazing Rager board Jack, because Kador doesn't believe in lights. They call them Man-O-War. So we don't have light war jacks, but our closest equivalent that still requires a Cortex are these Berserker chassis. And they recently expanded on that, where you have the Rager, and it's on the Berserker chassis, and whatever the other one is, because I'm super, that's the one that slams a lot. Oh, I can't even remember it. Either way, the Rager's the one I'm excited about. He has this little shield cannon. It's like range 8, I want to say. And then he's got this little Gladius, his cute little stabby sword. So cute. And he has shield guard, so you keep him next to your Warcaster, and if they try to shoot your Warcaster, he's like, I'll take the hit for you. And then he's super cool.
I think I have shield guard too on this guy.
Yeah, but who cares?
You're right.
Exactly.
You're not shooting me to death.
You're probably putting Triumph a little further up the board anyway, to be fair. And I guess you can do that with the Rager, but...
Range 16 is range 16.
Yeah, that's true. That Defender cannon's no joke. Although, you know what's really nice? Even if it's only range 14? Arcing fire on a bombard cannon. I do so love my bombards. And now that I have an artillerist, oh, it's so good.
That's
Eric
right.
says, huh?
Yeah. Well, the trencher theme is kind of coming out, and they're releasing the models. They have to do a war room to include a lot of Signar trenchers. And basically, you can just spam weapon teams, and then artillerist guys that just help reload the weapon team. Cool style.
Pretty cool, pretty cool.
I'm excited for it.
Eric says, basement gaming is fun, but really only if you're networked in and know the people. Otherwise, it can get awkward. Like getting the police called on you because you stalked somebody to their house. I mean, you're just trying to game. Gosh, why do people gotta be so sensitive? Oh, bye. I guess there was a lag because a bunch of chat just came up. All right. Jamie J, I wish all the game store people disappeared. I'm kind of the bringer of games for random groups of friends. They only play the board games I own. None are into miniatures. I know miniatures can be intimidating for a lot of people. I guess that's why like the skirmish level stuff is nice to introduce to people, just because you're like, it's okay. There's only like 5 of these guys. Think of, you played little pieces when you played Monopoly, right? I don't know. But I'm obviously not the person who sells people on playing games, but with my words. But yeah, it's so much easier to get into board games. That industry is so huge. I mean, what was it? Kickstarter made over $1 billion, or had over $1 billion funded for like board games in the last year or so.
Really?
It's huge. Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's no joke. That is a real exciting. But I mean, think about it. Like everybody's so technologically plugged in that I think board games end up being this really, like, people have really come back into it as a social thing. And, board games are generally not very hard to learn. I mean, there's some crazy exceptions like Arkham Horror, but for the most part, and once people get into board games, then they start getting more into board games, and eventually you can lead them into miniatures that way. I'm pretty sure it's like a gateway.
Yeah, I was at a board game night with some friends, and they play some Blood Bowl. There's some people, but a lot of people just play board games. But
yeah,
we had these board games where it's like, oh, you want to try this one? Oh yeah, I'll run back to the house to get it. We're like, oh, we'll community center. But it's like, how long does this take? Oh, 6 hours. It's one of those board games.
Yeah, I definitely run into that a lot. I know more board gaming clubs at this point than I know wargaming clubs in town. So there you go. Hey, Harvey does paint his Monopoly minis. That's amazing. I want to see that.
Like the original Monopoly mini?
Oh yeah, we're talking like the thimble and the little shoe. Oh yes.
Hat.
Awaza, I hope I'm saying that right. 3 friends and myself all just bought War Machine Armies, and we're playing our first games next week. Pretty stoked. Your videos helped convince us all quite a bit. Oh, really? So which one of you plays Kador?
Yeah, what are your factions? I want to know.
That's right. I want to know. Dan wants to know too, but who cares? 12 Neve, how do you feel about Company of Iron? Well, I have lots of thoughts on the Company of Iron. Dan, do you know much about it?
I really know nothing except for the fact that the starter box for Company of Iron has both Signar and minions, which are both my factions. And so it's like, how could I not buy this?
Scorn. So Company of Iron is extreme. Like at first when I heard about it, I was like, I don't know, it's another board game. I didn't get into Undercity. I didn't care about level 7. I didn't care about like they put out a lot of stuff, and my focus, I only have so much on my plate I can really generally handle. But I finally sat down and actually learned about Company of Iron, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is a game you play without Warcasters? What? And I've been wanting scenarios for War Machine forever that did not have Warcasters. Because Warcasters are cool, but there's something to be said for just trying to play normal tactics in a game, and I'm really hoping that Company of Iron has that. Now, I think it might get a little funky because I guess there's cards that help offset some of the weaker units that you have that you can use, because you can bring any non-large base, so bye-bye Kato Warjacks, and no Warcasters or junior Warcasters or any of that. So you're just playing straight troops, and I believe it's going to be each individual model moves. So it's kind of, again, it's sort of like Shadow War. I assume it's their answer to Shadow War Armageddon anyway. But I am very excited about it, like just because of the fact that you don't play Warcasters.
Wait. Are you allowed to play like junior Warcasters?
No junior Warcasters either. No, you can't.
For Fury manipulation at all.
So I don't think so. I don't know how it works for something with Empower where it puts focus on something, because you can bring like light Warjacks and light beasts.
Was it Jack Marshall?
That's what I'm wondering, and I haven't gotten a clear answer on that yet. So I don't know. But either way, yes, I am actually pretty excited about Company of Iron, and I look forward to recording games on that because I think they will also be faster. War Machine games are no joke to record. Jamie J. Christian, the dog of Signar is so cute. Whatever, Kador did it first.
Our dog's better.
Jamie J. Miranda, sorry if you have talked about it already, but have you heard of the mini crate thing from Privateer Press? I have, and I will probably be on board with it because I'm a sucker for miniatures. Now, I know there's like 3 of them that you can see on the website. So for those of you who don't know, mini crate is a thing, if you've done Loot Crate or many of the other iterations of crate or box where you have a monthly subscription to get stuff in the mail each month. Mini Crate is the one that Privateer is putting out. They're doing specific exclusive runs for it. And a lot of them are like variant models. Like the Swamp Siren is one of them that I knew about. And then there's like a different take on Gorman DeWolf, who looks kind of funky. But I guess they're also going to be pushing in their beefcake line, which I'm divided mind on. I don't know. We'll see. So you subscribe to it and they send you 1 mini a month. So, and you don't always know what you're getting. They kind of give you a preview of some of them, but I think after being signed up a while, it's just going to be kind of a mystery of what you get. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see how well it works, because it's like 16 or 17 bucks a month, which, might be kind of a lot for a miniature for some, but they do a deal where it's like 99 or 100 bucks for like 6 months. So I don't know, maybe you can go in with people for it, so you can like all pick the miniature you want, as long as you don't fight over the miniature you want. I don't know. I figure I'll give it a shot for a while and kind of see what comes out of it. It's fascinating.
Just like alternate models.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's just like some of the alternate models are cool, but a lot of them are just like, I don't know. Like the new Squire, like the pinup Squire. I think it looks terrible.
Really? Oh, yeah. You're so mean.
It does, though. It's just, I don't know. Although, with the new, because everyone jokes in Signar is you kick the Squire, or you abuse the Squire to get extra focus out of it. It's like your little like mechanical whatever, and you just like kick it, and, you get your extra focus. But now it's like a lady. So now it's like, are you abusing the squire? Are we allowed to still kick it? I don't know.
Huh. I mean, I guess it really just depends on your audience. Let's see. There's actually a lot of comments here. Jamie J, and getting people into trying miniature games. I've recently found that one of the best gateway minis games to create interest is Batman. Really? Have you played Batman?
No.
Huh. I mean, I can kind of see that, right? Because it's something people recognize. Like, I imagine the Lord of the Rings miniature game actually did that for a lot of people too. I mean, Joey Berry, she got interested because of Lord of the Rings. So I could kind of see that.
Mini wargaming started because of Lord of the Rings.
Well, there you go. Let me see. Well, most of them don't like the length of time, but yeah, Batman is pretty popular. I will have to look into that. What is the best theme force in Khador right now? Probably Jaws of the Wolf would be my guess, just because you have the let me pull up an army and compare them here. But that's the one I'm most familiar with because it's jack heavy and you can deny advanced deployment to your opponent from your opponent. So that seems pretty good to me.
You can deny advanced deployment?
Yes.
Oh, that would screw over my trencher theme.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
My army is advanced deployment.
Yeah, no, it kind of messes it up. So yeah, Jaws of the Wolf is a really powerful theme. What's the other one we've got? Legion of Steel. I haven't really played that because I still haven't really assembled any of my Iron Fang pikemen, but you know, it's not a big deal. I guess, yeah, for the Legion of Steel one, which is the Iron Fang one, the benefits are you get a command attachment for free for every 20 points of Iron Fang models, which is fine if you have a lot of them. The Great Bears gain countercharge, and Iron Fang solos gain countercharge, and then you can give an Iron Fang unit advanced move. So, I mean, it's probably pretty decent. It just doesn't seem as like mean as Jaws of the Wolf, where you're denying somebody else something.
Sounds like you want to play Menoth. You're all about denial.
No, I just can't get into Menoth's theme. So then Winter Guard Command is the other one, which I played that one recently. You can give advanced move to Warjack, and you gain sack pawn for any Winter Guard model. Like, I should say your Warcaster gains sack pawn to any Winter Guard model. So that's actually pretty neat. They apparently had to errata that recently because the gun carriage used to be a Winter Guard model. And they're like, yeah, that's not what we meant. So yeah, I think Jaws is still probably, and the Winter Guard one isn't bad. It's just you really need Rifle Corps because Winter Guard infantry, man, they're just not what they used to be. Beef says, I think the investment outside of playing, building/painting, keeps a lot of people away from the hobby. I think skirmish game with a line of pre-painted minis could do a lot to draw people. Khador for life. Yes, Guardsman, I agree. I don't know. Because painting miniatures isn't even all that intimidating after you get over the initial, like, resistance to it. Like, I don't know, it feels like it's just a temporary, like, it's a misconception about miniature wargaming. Like, they really do think you live in your basement and you don't have like a normal job, when in all likelihood you're actually probably perfectly well adjusted and fine. It's just this your hobby. So I don't know, it's given the number of skirmish games coming out, I think it's definitely gaining traction as far as more mainstream as a hobby. 12 Neef says, Rulix might kick butt in Company of Iron. They might. Jeffrey says, I was leaning toward Menoth, but 3rd edition was about to be released, and I was told to wait. So that's what everybody does. Like, whenever there's a new edition of the game, that's why miniature companies will not tell you when they're putting out a new edition of the game, because they know everybody's going to stop buying their stuff until the new edition comes out. And I don't know. It's an understandable thing. It's just I guess the way Privateer did it for this one is it's all CID now. So regardless of the faction you pick, your stuff is going to change. It just is going to. They have this community integrated development where you can sign up to be part of it and you report games and vote on stuff, I guess. I don't know. Have you done much with the CID stuff, Dan?
Yeah, no. A little bit at first, but like mostly it's if you log on and see the new rules.
Yeah, like a bajillion people.
I just don't have time.
Signed up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I think so it's come down to like a core set of people, but depending on how much you like, you really care about what's going on in your meta, it might be worth keeping up with just because you don't know the type, all the people who go in to affect change, I guess. So you never know when a nerf is coming down the pipeline. So with that, I guess it kind of doesn't matter. Like, I think it actually reinforces the argument of playing the faction that you like the look and or lore of more than the gameplay of, because the gameplay is subject to change indefinitely now. And I think they do the CID updates, every 6 months or something, and card updates are all the time. That's why they completely went to the cards being online, where you print them out or use War Room, because they're always changing. So there's that. Aaron, I hate crates. Yeah, I don't know. Like I never got into it, but I apparently don't know anything about trends, because that whole notion of loot crate and the nerdy ones, and the makeup ones, and the dog ones, like it took off like crazy. So sorry, Aaron, we're just wrong. Yeah, it's like a dog crate or bar. I don't know. It's probably something more friendly sounding than that. Bark box, maybe that was what it was. I don't know. I know people who get into it, but I just Paul Noxie, Jamie J, it's better than nothing. I started with friends. I'm guessing that's the conversation that I just jumped into the middle of. I've been out of the loop for too long, says Jamie. Signar has a dog. By the way, I was always jealous of the Khador dog. I know.
It doesn't quite have a dog yet. The rules have been released and finalized.
Yeah, so it's going to have a dog. They're going through the adoption process. They're just waiting on the shots and the vaccination records to come through. And then
So to compare the rules, let's take a look at these two puppies.
Oh, are you going to compare? All right, well, Khador's better, obviously.
So for the Khador, it's 3 points. Your speed 7, mat 6, and you got a 1/2-inch bite of powerful strength 11. So decent little bite.
Yeah.
Got tough. So defense 13, armor 14, somewhat survivable, 5 boxes, but it's the speed 7 that really is super good. But it's an attachment, so it takes up that ever important attachment. Only have 1 per warcaster. It's got counter charge. It's got guard dog. So while you're within 3 inches of your warcaster, and you personally are not knocked down or stationary, the dog, then your warcaster gains parry and +2 defense against melee attack rolls, and they can't get the backstrike bonus.
And return.
And after you charge, you can do a full advance towards the warcaster.
So I mean, pretty good. Although nobody takes the war dog anymore.
So he's just an annoying little dog that kind of helps the caster stay alive.
Now he's only defense 13. So he's not exactly the hardest to hit.
This is true.
Because everybody wants to shoot my dog whenever I play with the war dog.
So the good thing about the war dog is it's very versatile. It can be used with any warcaster that's probably going to get into melee at all. You probably want to be taking the dog. The Signar patrol dog, he has so many rules. So he's got advanced deploy. He's defense 14, armor 13. So a bit higher defense, but 1 higher defense, but 1 lower armor. So they kind of switch those stats. Also tough, but also has Pathfinder and advanced deployment. He's also only 2 points instead of 3 points.
Whatever. They're going to CID that. They're going to make him like 5 points. That's how Signar rolls.
Already CID. It's
no, it's going to be a new one.
But its POW is only 7, right? So 4 less POW than the other dog. So that's like killing significantly less amounts of stuff. Then We got Annoyance, which is, like little whelps. And so they're -1 to attack rolls to living models. That's pretty good. And it's got Dodge, but it also gives Leadership Trencher Dodge. So anything within 3 inches of it, any Trencher models also get Dodge within 3 inches. It's also a Foxhole Buddy, so if someone else is dug in, it also gains the dug in rules.
What? This is nonsense.
Someone moves up and digs in and just runs across the board. It's like, I'm here with you.
What's your dog's defense?
14.
What?
So it's basically going to be defense 18 against shooting the whole game. And
I'm going to devote my life to shooting your dog.
Well, it's also got crit knockdown on its bite. So you can occasionally knock
Well, it's like crit.
It's crit. Very unreliable, but,
yeah.
Situationally hilarious. But what's awesome is it has Noisy as a start action.
Oh, that's right.
So, so it's a start action. So you move 7, you can do it. While within 8 inches, you just remove step. I'm not sure how this works, but he just barks really loud and is really noisy. So the Crick's Bane Thralls, Bane Warriors that are like, stealthy through the woods, they're like, what the frick is that noise? They like stick up their heads. They're like, ooh, we see them.
Yeah, what?
And you can shoot them. So it's pretty sweet anti-stealth tech. And also, while within 5 inches of them, you deny backstrike bonuses. All this for 2 points.
So here's my theory on that. And it's my theory on Grimkin too. So take it with a grain of salt because no one tells me nothing. But I think they have him deliberately undercosted so that everybody goes out there and buys a little trencher puppy.
And then they're gonna
jack up the points. They might not nerf him, but they're gonna jack up the points and make everybody mad. That's my thought.
I hope not. I just want a dog so our dogs can fight. We can make a little pit for them.
Wait a minute. What's his mat?
Don't tell PETA.
What's the dog's
5. It's pretty low.
5? Okay. Mine's 6. He's meaner than your dog.
My dog is more of a utility dog than a fighting dog.
This has reduced to pretty petty bickering. All right. What else have we got here? Gus, I'm trying to get my girlfriend into miniature games. Is War Machine a good start? No. No, I don't think it is. I think War Machine is a very, very frustrating game for a lot of people to learn. And if you were trying to start people on miniatures through War Machine, I think you actually would frustrate a lot of them. And there are a ton of special rules. I would recommend, and I know there's a bajillion special rules in it too, but for whatever reason, a lot more girls get into Malifaux and then other skirmish games. So maybe Shadow War, but it's really going to depend on the aesthetic she likes. So, War Machine's got some really cool models, but it's a vast, vast, vast game. And I mean, when you start learning it, all you do is lose. That is not a way to introduce somebody to wargaming.
It all depends on who you're playing with.
Yeah, but
in general, yeah. War Machine players are, unforgiving and unrelenting.
Quirk. Yeah, I mean, that's... What would you say is like the best introductory game then, Dan? How would you introduce a lady to War Machine? Or not to War Machine, too. Yeah, Company of Iron. That's true. That might be good. In fact, if you get away from the Warcaster rules, it's probably a lot more fun for people just learning the game. It was always one of the weird things with like the battle box because it would give you a caster and then 2 or 3 jacks. And so it's like one of the more complicated things to learn just getting into War Machine without dealing with units or anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you're getting into a miniature game is just pick what's aesthetically pleasing to you. Because like half the hobby is building and painting your miniatures. That takes up a whole lot of hours. Sometimes many more hours than what you actually get to play. And so that has to be, for me, kind of number one. And I'm kind of adaptable and I can play kind of any play style, so I can kind of make it work. But War Machine, you kind of have to have a group of people who are kind of more forgiving and kind of more starting level that are willing to help each other learn. But that's not always innately there unless you know people. If you don't know anybody or are trying to jump into it, it might be a little rough time if you're not familiar with miniature games.
Oh, there's a fair amount of kind of sticking it out that you got to do, and it's not. I would definitely put War Machine, proper War Machine, in like you've been playing games a while and you're trying it out. Because
that's almost every game, really.
Don't try any game unless you're already familiar with all the other games. That's pretty much the worst advice ever.
No, I mean, like, every game is like, you're just going to lose a bunch at first and not have any idea what you're doing.
I don't know about that. I mean, there's general, like, I think Owen had made the argument about fantasy before it became Age of Sigmar. Sigmar, yes. Because people could kind of employ sort of normal tactics. I do think that any game where knowing your own army is the most important thing, and you can be competitive that way, will be more, be easier to get into and win than games where you have to know what everyone else can do all the time. And that's where special rules go bananas and become very, very frustrating to deal with for new players. That's my 2 cents on it anyway. I don't know. Everybody gets different impressions from it, so take it with a grain of salt. Quirk says, so are we finally going to get that game of War Machine at Valhalla this year? I'm really hoping so. I want to. 12 Neef said, Quirk, I got to meet the mini wargaming crew at Adepticon, motivating me to paint my armies so I can go up and challenge you guys. Oh, yeah. Well, Mini Wargaming is now doing their bunker thing. So they're going to have sort of a, I guess this may be kind of Valhalla-esque where you can go up and visit and they have this like place. It's pretty cool. Gotta say I'm happy about the Trencher love. Always liked the Trencher models. Crix needs a dog. What would the Crix dog be? Come on.
It would be from like Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, that's the Grimkin dog, obviously.
My bad.
The Crix dog would be just some weird, like, it would look like a Tyrannid, or maybe like some weird robot, but it would have like pointy feet, like Tyrannids have with their claws. Just be awful. No, the Crix don't need a dog.
Chickens, though. They really need dogs.
Oh, man. There's a lot of people talking. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, still bad after this many years, but my army still looks better than unpainted. Well, painting is what it is. I agree. I would still think a badly painted army is better than an unpainted army as a general rule. Let me see here. And yeah, it actually has been kind of relaxing because it's been a super stressful day, which is probably why I sound really weirdly hyper. Yeah, I used to keep my first Wraith Lord painted model. It was horrendous. Oh man, I need to see if I can find my little D&D model that I painted for the first time. I used so many colors. I actually went to the game store in Oklahoma City to learn how to paint. And the game store guy, I think it's Mike, he still has the store, good guy, but like he was trying to show me how to paint with like highlights and undertones, and I was like, it just had a bunch of lines on him on her by the end. It was awful.
Yeah, my first 4 models that I painted were 5 orc knobs. And they're probably all chipped and protected at all. They're probably somewhere around Mini Wargaming.
Nice. Surreal. How twisted is it to play in a tournament for your first game of Warhammer? That does seem a bit masochistic, Surreal. Just saying.
Warhammer?
Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer is kind of infamous for the tournaments kind of being filled with douchebags that are tryhards that are like care way too much about the game.
Oh no, that's yeah. The meta will make or break your interest in a game, I think, as a very consistent thing. Nivek said, why I not started my girl on it yet? She's playing Grimkin because she likes horror movies. Yeah, no, Grimkin is certainly a fun faction. And it's really overpowered right now, in my opinion. So it's probably pretty fun to get into for the first time. Oh gosh, AJ Costello, did I say that right? I've recently started some Kador stuff since I found a bunch of stuff that I bought like 8 years ago and promptly forgot about. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mini shopping amnesia? Is that what that is? Like, it's like when you drunk eBay stuff and you just are like, why did I order a snowboard? I don't even snowboard.
Oh, you have an extra snowboard? I'll take it. I like snowboard.
I do have a snowboard in my garage. I've never snowboarded. I also have skis. I've never skied. I was never actually very good at sporting or center of balance or anyway. Axe to the face is harsh in War Machine. Yes, I think that was as to whether or not Girlfriend's good to get into miniature games at all using War Machine. Michael Gray, Dead Zone is a really good intro into wargaming. It straddles the zone between war and board game, and you get everything you need in the box. Plus, it's awesome. Well, that is actually a really good pitch there, Michael. I don't know. It'd be kind of worth checking out. Again, I think it comes down to the aesthetic, though, because I know a lot of people are into. You could say that about like Mansions of Madness, because you have miniatures there too, and I don't know that you're really building them up or anything, and it's also cooperative, which is a big difference. But see what board game she likes, and then find a miniature game that works with that. I'd say Mordheim is really good at getting people into it. Too bad it's out of print. Ooh, I think we will be having an awesome Mordheim game at Valhalla this year, though. So it's pretty cool. The thing about Mordheim, though, is, again, the level of investment. You build your warband, and then you have to track their wins and losses and take injuries, and you build a campaign around that. And so, yeah, I mean, some people can probably really, really get into it, but I don't know if you're like, hey, this is kind of what wargaming's like, and here's like a spreadsheet. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the way to do it. What's that?
Yeah, just Mordheim is like you don't play like you can play one-off Mordheim games, but it's not really the purpose of Mordheim. It's a built-in campaign, but you can play with anybody. While like Blood Bowl, you can't really play one-off Blood Bowl games. You can, but it's not really. It's like a league, and there's like a certain number of people you're playing with.
Oh, there you go. You could do like extreme colossal wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Or the one I keep forgetting, that's the racing with battle engines. Because big models are actually really cool. I think big models get people into it.
There's battle engine racing?
Yes, it was in the last no quarter, which is literally the last no quarter. But what the heck was the name of it? I don't think I have it in front of me.
How's it? Well, the Kador it's unfair. It runs around with
horses already. Well, so I mean, think of Mario Kart. Like you're planting traps for people, and you have to like, I don't know, race over each flag point or something like that. I don't know. I was more interested in the Gavin Kyle files. But now you've got me staring at it. So you need to think of something to say so I can look at this.
But I'm eating a pepperoni stick.
You are the worst. I might have the wrong issue anyway. Ho hum. So either way.
I mean, well, there's a new battle engine coming out for trolls called the Hooch Hauler. Have you seen that?
The Hooch Hauler? I don't think is that really the name of it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's this massive just keg with like guys like riding it, and it just like spout flames everywhere, and it's like everyone around it gets stumbling drunk.
Just typing that into Google does not give you the results you want.
I'm not sure if there's like, I think there's just like a 3D.
There's some concept art for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I never got into the whole like alcohol jokes within War Machine, so like the cask imps and stuff in Grimcan, like you just shoot them from really far away. Eric Tohones? The other good starting mini games: Age of Sigmar, Guild Ball, Dead Zone, Bushido, and the aforementioned Batman. There you go. Just write down that list and go down the line and see what works. Batman, I could actually see working pretty dang well. Let's see. It was awesome. I remember I got my friend's Chaos guy that he saved and spent a lot of gold on as a zombie. Oh no. Grix already have dogs? Do you mean Crix? What? Crick's dog would be so happy all of the time, all the bones. Nobody's happy in Crick's.
Many bones.
The robot snappers are the dogs? I don't know what he's talking about. It would be a dead Kador dog soul with the cortex for a heart. Kind of like they took a Signar caster. Sturgis, best caster in the world. Whatever. I don't think anybody's played him in Mark III.
Although we're seeing, because Mark III was so heavy on the big stuff and like big battle groups, and now it's like getting back to like lots of infantry again.
Mm-hmm,
So kind of like the meta's kind of shifting. And so Sturgis is awesome against anti-infantry. And so I may have to revisit him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Steve Strangelove says, why do people hate power gamers? I mean, if you play competitively, shouldn't everyone aspire to be a power gamer? Well, that's actually an interesting question. I mean, on its face, like, are you, because we were just talking about people being jerks, which is different than being a competitive or power gamer. You don't have to be a jerk to be a power gamer. And jerks are jerks regardless of if they're good at the game or not. So I don't.
Okay, so power gamer is just someone who wants to win at all costs.
Right, the people who always choose the strongest faction or strongest list and all that, right?
So, and they often ruin the game for themselves. Like, I knew a guy who bought all the strongest, powerful theme lists in Mark II. And he got them all painted, like someone else painted them up all nice. And he was like, yeah, this is the best. But then, like, the meta shifted a bit. No, they were no longer the best. He's like, oh. So he, like, bought the new list. And then the meta shifted again. And he's like, oh. And he was, like, trying to power game and be the best by buying the best lists. But then he just ruined it for himself. And he actually lost the desire to keep playing. And then he switched to another game. Because he's always easier to power game here. But he realized that just buying the best models doesn't mean you're going to be the best player. And it just wasn't having the results he wanted, and then just kind of like stopped playing altogether. And it was really sad because it just like when you forget that it's a game, right? It's not like some sport or anything. But it's a game that you go and you socialize and it's fun. And if anytime it's not fun because if you're a power gamer, that's the why people hate on power gamers, is because they're lacking something else in some other part of their life, and they're trying to make up for it in wargaming, and they have to win because they have to fill that void of unfulfilled something in their life. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy judgmental, but I think it feels like that. Like,
it seems like a really deep analysis.
You're like, stop, just enjoy the game. It's a game. Enjoy the game. And when you get really competitive, I love it. I love it when people are friendly, but also super competitive, because you get these really cool games, these really cool situations where it like sometimes comes down to the dice roll, or you make this crazy strategy on the fly, depending on that situation, it'll never happen again. And it gets really, really fun when you're on the same level. But when you're not on the same level, it ruins the fun. So when you go to a tournament, I never get angry. But if I'm playing casually at like the club and I'm like, I want to try this interesting thing, and they just bring their same tournament list they always bring, I'm like, well, I'm gonna stop playing with you outside of tournaments because it's no fun. And so that's why people hate on power games. Not because being competitive is wrong, but just because people suck the life out of the game sometimes.
Wow. It's a strong opinion. Do you agree, guys? By that I mean audience. Or is Dan just full of it?
I'm probably full of it. It's like an age-old thing of, do you play fun? Whatever. There's always that balance.
Well, there is always that balance, and War Machine's always struggled with it a lot because there's a lot of people who, I mean, most people who play war games on the whole are casual gamers. Just most of them are. So you have to be, as a game company, you probably need to at least be aware and acknowledge them. And then when you're in the game store, it's really important for whoever's playing against the other person to know what they're getting into. So if you have a really high competitive power gamer who's like, I really want to test my tournament list, and then you have, somebody who is either new to the game or who's like just messing around, like, I don't know, let's just see how this, I really want to try out this thing with the game. Well, that power gamer,
it's all female models.
Yeah, sure, right? And then like you just get shot off the board before you can even try anything with it. Well, there you go. There's a negative play experience. So that's the thing to just be aware of.
So
and yeah, what's that?
I gotta head out. My time is up.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, there's so many questions. I'm so sorry, guys. We haven't gotten to everything. I'm gonna pick one more.
For the record, people are agreeing with me.
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right. On that note, we're gonna totally head out because Dan has life now or whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciated hanging out. This really kind of brightened my day. It's been a really, really hard day. My little guy, he has some brown on him now and more silver. He's totally coming along. So thank you guys.
My guy's done.
Him.
He's not great, but he's done.
We always appreciate you guys. Definitely have a very good evening, and we'll see you in 2 more weeks.
All right.
Bye.